The primary dates of the launch event, the pre-order window, and the retail release have been progressively decided upon as the days go by, with dates verified by various publications. Famous smartphone analyst Ice Universe brought the Galaxy S26 date debate to light this week. However, Samsung has limited power over the most critical dates for the S26 family's release. Let's review the dates that Samsung has chosen and those that are up to its competition. 1. Launch of the Samsung S26 Ultra. On February 25, Samsung will present their well-known triad of Galaxy S smartphones at a Galaxy Unpacked event. The flagship product and one of the most advanced smartphones to be released in 2026 will be the S26 Ultra. Many speculated that Samsung will add the S26 Pro and S26 Edge to the list in addition to the S26 Ultra. The former would be the entry-level Galaxy S with greater features, especially the camera. This would have required a price increase above the $799 retail price of the S25. Instead of improving the specifications to offer the first phone more status, Samsung has been obliged to focus on price in order to survive in the market due to the success of the iPhone 17, the vanilla iPhone, which is likewise priced at $799. The latter would have been a thin phone, which would have been a fashion trend in 2025, but has not proven successful in retail. Low sustained demand, which would have presumably been substantially lower for an iterative second version, was shown by the S25 Edge's lackluster sales. After that, Samsung resorted to the well-known Galaxy S series, despite the fact that doing so entailed delaying the launch dates by slightly more than a month in order to develop the new designs and ensure that production reached proper pre-launch levels. 2. Pre-orders for the Samsung S26 Ultra. For 2026, Samsung has shifted to a pre-orders open tomorrow method for the first Galaxy Unpacked of the year, despite the temptation to reveal pre-orders as the keynote speech is complete, as Samsung and others have done in recent years. This suggests that starting on Thursday, February 26, you will be able to sign up for the S26 phone. This has one wrinkle. Ice Universe offers a pre-order window from February 26 to March 4 and a pre-sale window from March 5 to March 10, stressing that these dates are for the South Korean market. For the time being, it is unknown if this is specific to the region or if it will be seen globally. In the past, Samsung has offered large pre-order discounts. You can anticipate enhanced trade-in values and guaranteed minimums for any phone turned in with a Galaxy purchase, if this remains true for the Galaxy S26 series. Samsung will definitely have some unusual tints that are solely accessible through its online store. Last year, the classically black titanium jet black Galaxy S25 was one of the exclusives. Additionally, I predict that Samsung and Google will collaborate to provide a complimentary subscription to the Google AI Pro package, which would grant access to the Galaxy S26 Ultra for a year, akin to the Pixel 10 Pro. Perhaps the most major concern surrounding the pre-orders is if Samsung will keep up its double storage offer, in which purchasing the 12 gigs model gets you the 256 gigs model. The 256 gigs model gets you 512 gigs, and the 512 gigs model gets you 1 terabytes. Depending on how much Samsung has hedged on silicon, this could have a higher impact on the bill of materials than in recent years due to the escalating costs of memory and storage. 3. Retail availability of the Samsung S26 Ultra. The retail market's on-sale date, as well as the pre-order shipping date, is Wednesday 11. Considering Samsung's normal fondness for Friday, this seems like an odd day to pick. That would have been Friday the 13th, as previously mentioned, a date that Samsung has opted to avoid due to its strong superstitious overtones. Updates on the new S26 specifications, Sunday, January 25. One area where Samsung is getting ready to alter the story of the Galaxy family and the smartphone baseline in 2026 is disclosed by new information regarding the S26 this weekend. A major improvement on the entry-level S26 is highlighted by leaked information from a Finnish shop. The base storage capacity of the Galaxy S26 will be 256 gigs, with the option to increase to 512 gigs. The same is true for the Galaxy S26 Plus. For both variations, the same hues are listed: black, white, sky blue, and cobalt violet. However, Samsung's online store may offer additional colors. The upgrade to 256 gigs will provide an advantage over top mid-range alternatives and squarely challenge the competition. 128 gigs of base storage is anticipated when Google releases the Pixel 10a. Although that phone will be less expensive, Samsung now has a definite advantage to maintain the price difference. The iPhone 17e may be in the same predicament. The iPhone 16e from the previous year began with 128 gigs of storage, and although it is still less expensive, it is only by $100. While Apple customers will continue with Apple, individuals who are considering iOS or Android might be tempted to transfer to Samsung's ecosystem by the greater storage afforded by Benjamin Franklin. 4. The competition and the Samsung S26 Ultra. The introduction of the S26 series will be affected by additional dates. These can surely alter the story that Samsung is aiming to convey with its new hardware and software, even though they are outside of its control. The family's vision might be impaired when compared to another manufacturer's, or it might stand out in comparison to the acts of the competitors. 5. Mobile World Congress vs. Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. One of the biggest dates is the first one. Beginning on March 2, Mobile World Congress will take place in Barcelona for 4 days. There will be representation from the large majority of smartphone manufacturers, jet black accessory businesses, software developers, and other industry participants. The utilization of artificial intelligence is undoubtedly going to be one of the most popular themes, along with new phones that are being announced, previewed, or in the latter phases of construction. There will be an excess of news concerning cell phones on all fronts. Samsung has an opportunity to demonstrate how Galaxy AI gives the greatest AI experience on mobile devices and set the standard for what a high-end smartphone should be by launching ahead of the event. If these are widely exhibited at Galaxy Unpacked, Samsung will become the benchmark that everyone aspires to and assesses themselves against. Samsung may easily appear out of date if the narrative is weak or if a disruptive product is offered by another firm. Hardware offers a similar tale. The features and hardware selections of the S26 family, particularly the Galaxy S26 Ultra, look to be iterative revisions. Some cutting-edge smartphone designs will be on exhibit at Mobile World Congress. Some of them might be little more than concepts, but others will be equivalent to highly respected supercars, with a very high price tag and low commercial success, all the while giving the manufacturer's basic headsets a halo effect. Before the S26 family hits shop shelves the week following Mobile World Congress, it can appear out of place and rely on technology from the prior year. Apple's iPhone 17e is also in the works. This would be the follow-up to the iPhone 16e from the previous year, when Apple abandoned the iPhone SE in favor of a numbered iPhone release. The iPhone 16e now costs $599 instead of the final $429 for the iPhone SE, and it has all the advantages and limitations of being an Apple product. The S26 range has already been hit by Apple's $799 iPhone 17. The Galaxy S26 would face a near-direct competition from the release of the iPhone 17e, which would once more drop the pricing. Those who seek to migrate from iOS to Android are more likely to be discouraged by it. Again, Apple has not confirmed the debut date, and the window is significantly broader than that of the Pixel 10a. The iPhone 16e was unveiled by press release on February 19 of last year. However, the iPhone 17e may have to wait until late March, when Apple plans to release the final major version of iOS 26, which will include an updated Siri. In my opinion, a date around 2025 is likely, and I would take into account the speed of an annual contract with networks. The iPhone 17e would be a simple sell if the contract for the iPhone 16e is set to expire and users are seeking what comes next. Assuming Taniyama Shimura, let's schedule the introduction of the iPhone 17e for February 18. This timing will put Samsung at a disadvantage at Galaxy Unpacked the following week and necessitate a head-to-head with the Pixel 10a. The S25 in general and the S25 Ultra in particular contributed considerably to Samsung's 19.1% global market share in 2025. Sales of the S24 Ultra were doubled by the S25 Ultra, which accounted for 52% of the initial orders. With the S26 family and the 26 Ultra, the South Korean corporation aims to have a similar response. However, the industry has developed over the past year, and Samsung is bringing the S26 into a market that is significantly more competitive than the S25. Are the iterative updates sufficient? Will users seek to happen Apple and Google for greater value, or will they look to competitors like Xiaomi and Oppo for unique designs and fresh concepts? Before, during, and after Mobile World Congress, will Samsung continue to be considered as the industry leader? January 29, 2026 is the last date to ponder about. I anticipate some future estimates from Samsung's fourth quarter 2025 earnings call on that date. Projections with the S26 Ultra at the middle. When and what does Samsung expect happening? So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.